had been a golden afternoon, and I remember having the familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the sunrise.
So, you remember the Leica 3F that I bought at that estate sale over the summer? I may have told you and even shown you that it had a Nikon SC 50mm 1.4 lens on it. Mm-hmm. Well, I sold it on eBay for like $425 to somebody in Switzerland. And I've had some videos about overhauling that camera on my TikTok and on my Instagram Reels. And someone posted a message about this lens on TikTok and said, you know, that's a really special lens. So this is the lens that Robert Frank shot The Americans with.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Not like this wasn't the lens.
Not the lens he held in his hands.
Yeah,
it is the lens. Not only that, but this one is much rarer because it is the Nippon, and for those listening and watching, I'm holding my iPhone with a picture of the lens.
Of what once was.
Of what once was. This is a very early version of it because it says Nippon Kogaku Tokyo. And the later ones don't say Tokyo, they say whatever other city they started making them in. And then the guy said, and your serial number is really low on that one. So you have one of the earliest, most rare versions of that lens. And then I remember it sold to Switzerland. And I did some research. And there just so happens to be an institution there called the Camera Museum. And I am 99% certain that they bought this lens. Not only because it's the lens that Robert Frank used, but it's a very rare version of a very famous lens.
And you had it.
And I had it
in your basement for like a year.
Threw it up on eBay for $450, and this person offered me $425, and I took it. Now, other versions of this lens, the later one that says... So then I went back and looked on eBay, and sure enough, they don't say Tokyo, the ones that all sold for $400-ish. And the serial number is much higher. So I'm like, oh, did I make a big mistake here? Now, I don't know if it's like a $10,000 big mistake or if it's like, you know, a $500 big mistake.
And like just cool to have.
And just cool to have. And had I known that Robert Frank shot with it, would I have, you know, at least shot a few rolls on a Leica Barnack camera. And I don't think it was the 3F exactly. It may have been. But, yeah. So...
Good story.
So
that's crazy.
The only thing hanging out there is not knowing how much it could be worth. If a museum buys your lens, it's probably a good bet that you have something special.
Is there any way to get in contact with the person who you sold it to? Just be like, hey, I just want you to know, like, this is a very special lens.
I didn't do too much digging, but eBay removes, like, the name and address of the person who bought it. Maybe there's some way to get it. I don't know, but, you know, I don't, like, keep a copy of the mailing slip, you know. And even when you mail to Switzerland, like, you ship it to, like, some place in Chicago, and then eBay takes care of getting it out to foreign countries to make that process easier for the seller.
There's only one way to find out. We have to go to Switzerland.
We have to go
visit the camera museum and
like,
find your lens.
Yeah, that's my lens. How much would you value that at?
That's priceless.
Yeah.
Over $1 million, certainly.
Yeah. So
this is the lens that Robert Frank used.
This is the exact serial number. And we have this photo of Robert Frank using it.
You'll see this reflection if you zoom in. This is actually.
So it seems like the person you bought this from in Omaha had met Robert Frank, and he gave him the lens.
He mugged Robert Frank. Robert Frank actually got robbed in Omaha in 1974.
And I brought this up to you because we were at Jackson Street Books, and there were 2 Robert Frank books in like sort of their new arrivals section at the front of the store. And I was like, I should probably tell you about that. I actually didn't like text it to you or anything because I was like, I'll just wait to tell you in person. And then I waited to tell you in person on YouTube.
So are you gonna let just kind of let it go?
Yeah. I'm not gonna mess around with it.
It was the $300,000 lens. It's fine.
Yep. So I'm really trying to be very careful with how quickly I let things go and not to spend too much time on it. But I picked up the other day at a thrift store this brand called West Coast Choppers. They make clothing, hoodies, T-shirts, and all that.
Is that the American Chopper?
No, this is Jesse James, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
And their clothing is very valuable, and it's, a T-shirt, depending on which one, you're in the, I don't know, $50 to $100+ range. It's not like it's like thousands of dollars.
What is it with motorcycle tees? They're so...
Yeah, the motorcycle stuff and then Harley, all that is, a big deal. So I saw, going through the thrift store and I see this hoodie at the end of the rack, and there were some things that made me think that it had issues or whatever, but it ended up not. And I looked up prices that it had sold for on eBay, and it was $150 and $250. So not crazy money. But then there's this vintage clothing brand called Bid Stitch, and they have Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff. And they had put on Instagram a post where a rarer version of a West Coast Choppers hoodie sold for $2,500. And while mine wasn't that one, it is a specific line of hoodies that they made, this Choppers for Life little run that they did. And so I put it out on Instagram, and I did list it on eBay for like $1,300. That's not what I was expecting to get for it, but I was just curious if people would start submitting offers on it. So the highest offer I've gotten is like $280 for it. And I'm just trying to be careful because of this lens to not just put it up at the sort of first knee-jerk thought of what it's worth. And so yesterday, I was up in Fremont at this estate sale dispersal store that does, and they open once a month, and they just have a bunch of stuff that they've gotten from different estate sales that didn't sell or whatever, and they sell it in the store. And I'm looking through the electronics, and I grabbed some camera stuff per usual, and actually got it's not like super rare, but I never see it, a 24 millimeter Canon FD lens. Usually I only see 50 millimeter and then up, or zoom lenses. It took me a long time to get a 35 millimeter and a 28 millimeter, and now there's this 24 millimeter. So I'm like, oh, cool, great. Then I go to this other shelf, and there's a sealed copy of Donkey Kong 64 for the Nintendo 64 with this special, I think it's called an expansion pack. It's a little doohickey you put in Nintendo 64, and it unlocks new shit that you can do. And I'm like, okay, well, what's this worth? I paid $30 for it. So I look it up on eBay, and a version of it with the box and the instruction manual and the game cartridge and all that sells for like $150. So I'm like thinking, well, I'll photograph this and get my money back and all that stuff. And then I'm like, well, I didn't check what sealed copies sell for. So I look up sealed copies. There's 2 that have sold in the last 60 days or whatever. One that was sealed but not graded, like somebody didn't send it off to have it professionally graded and slabbed, what they call slabbed, sold for $1,000. And then the slabbed one that was graded at a 9.4 out of 10 in condition sold for $1,500. So I'm like, this obviously isn't a 9.4. It had some little dings and whatever, but it's a sealed copy of this game.
Are you going to get it graded, or are you going to...
I don't think it's worth it because it's a little crumpled and there's some dings in it. I'd rather just not... Because it's like $200 to get something graded and slabbed. It might be even more for a video game because it's a bigger... Like, people pay like $100 to $200 to have like a Pokemon card graded and slabbed. So I'm like, I don't know if I'll mess with this. Plus, for sometimes it takes like 6 months to get it back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'd rather just put it up on eBay for
$900
$1,200 and see what offers I get. Anyway, so my first instinct was like, oh yeah, $150. Let's just throw it up there. Someone would have bought it in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I made a mistake too with this 1950s post World War II heavy winter flight coat. I think it's called an N3B flight coat. And I put it up on eBay for like $90 and someone bought it immediately.
Yeah.
And whenever somebody buys something on eBay right away, it's usually a sign that you didn't price it high enough.
Yeah.
So I go back and really do the research on it. And sure enough, the jacket sells all day long for like $250 to $500. And I'm like, you dumbass.
So they immediately took it.
Yeah, immediately took it.
Put
Yep.
it back. Yeah.
Yeah. And bought it. I think it went to Japan. A Japanese buyer bought it.
That's hilarious. Like
I know.
even today, just down at the shop,
Yeah.
people like next door is like, yeah, I got this for $5. Gonna probably resell it for 30 or whatever.
Yep. So yeah, you got to do your due diligence, especially with some of this older stuff, so that you don't miss something. You don't miss something special. I was also going to say, related to the camera stuff, that I sent off my Nikon S rangefinder. I finally, not like it was a super hard search, but I found a place that can do a CLA on that camera. I was hoping to find somebody that was like an expert on Nikon rangefinders, kind of like with the Leica. I sent it off to Yujin Yi. He just does Leica cameras, and he's very well known for that. And I didn't do a ton of research, but I wasn't able to find someone that specializes in Nikon. So it's down in Austin, Texas at Precision Camera.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't take it to old Kevin Walker.
He still has a camera of mine that I gave him over a year ago before his heart attack.
Yeah.
So, and he keeps taking more cameras in, but he's just I think he's just changed a lot after his heart attack. And, I don't know, isn't as focused on getting through those cameras that are in there. I should probably just go and get the camera back. I mean, it's a little Olympus stylus, Infinity stylus, but it doesn't work properly, but it's not worth a ton. But so I'm hoping to get the Nikon S back in the next couple of weeks, and then I will have that as another camera that I can go out and shoot with, because it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I got the dark. So our last episode, that's a sweet topo label, by the way. Did you see that one? Good.
Oh yeah.
What does that say?
Nice.
Chattanooga Chico?
It says
What is that?
Chatopo Chico.
Oh, Chitopo.
Yeah.
That's cool.
CIA Topo Chico.
That's sweet. Yeah. Should we update our
Oh yes, on our
gallery?
Yeah. So two-part podcast, talking all about it, and yeah, things have changed.
Yeah. So Matt and I had a massive argument. No, I'm just kidding.
I threw a chair.
Yep.
It got heated.
It's actually, that's why we didn't do an episode so long.
Yeah, Alex is healing.
Black eye had to heal.
That's right. Yeah, and I had a court mandate.
Yep. Get a restraining order for a bit. It was rough.
Very rough.
We no, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you'll handle it more diplomatically. Plus, you're closer. You kind of played point on it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you.
So I was out of town for most of the, I guess, person-to-person negotiations or whatever. But long story short,
yeah,
things didn't work out as planned, or things kind of got. The original agreement was not respected, and that's not the person who we made it with fault. But yeah.
Yeah, the circumstances changed a little bit, and without getting into the details, it's not like a big contentious thing or people were, fighting or anything like that, but the space that we were going to use, the sort of the access to it shifted a little bit because the artist that was in there working had an opportunity to basically take over the space before the lease was up. And instead of us having half the space essentially to ourselves where we could do what we wanted with it and sort of pay for that privilege, the agreement shifted to where we would have to work with the other tenant to share that part of the space. And we could have still moved forward with doing the gallery under those circumstances, but knowing we'd both be paying
a bit drastically different than our original vision, intention.
And it was just getting
and there were a bit of like there was a bit of like nannying going on, or maybe just curation not on our behalf.
Yeah, just a little bit of it felt like all of the decisions that would be made about how the space would be used would have to be done in committee, basically. Mm-hmm. And that that person would have sort of equal weight, if not slightly more weight than us in the decision-making process because they were there before us. Yeah. And we liked, obviously, the previous arrangement, which was a little bit more relaxed, but because we were paying the bulk of the rent for the entire space, we were in the driver's seat with how we could use it. Yeah. And the space would have been partitioned with like a curtain, so that for that, and we could basically come and go as we pleased. So because of that shift, we decided not to move forward with what we were going to do, and now we don't have any place to showcase the work and create what we were hoping to create, which was a gathering place, even if just for a few months, and other opportunities potentially for photographers to display their work in the space as well.
And it sounds like, I don't know, like listening, there might be like it was going to be a co-op anyways. It was going to be a collaborative effort. And yeah, that's true, but it wasn't. It's different when it's around photography versus when you are the means to somebody else's dream.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of what the relationship shifted into, we were a means to an end for the person who was in that space.
We were a tool to make the financial commitment less intense, less risky, less burdensome to them.
Rather than like, we're going to go in and you could say that kind of about the original agreement, but just the relationship with that person is different. There's a bit of an understanding there, a silent understanding that wasn't really present. So I don't know. Shit happens.
Yeah.
If anybody has a space out there and happens to watch this show, which is like a 0% chance.
Yeah. But yeah, we had talked, part of why we got excited about this space was because we had talked for a while about finding some space that was available, but even if it was rough, like a commercial space that had been vacated and they were looking for a long-term renter, but wanted to make some cash in a sort of low stakes agreement for us to be able to use the space for a few events, a gallery type thing. And we would essentially use the space as is. We wouldn't necessarily like move a ton of stuff in and like need to paint or do any of that stuff. I personally was excited about just sort of embracing the space as it was and sort of working with it to display photos and hang out with friends there and start sharing the work and bringing the photography, and mainly more street photography or artistic photography community together. And then this happened, then it went away, and now if we want to do this in some other way, we have to find something like that again.
It would have been cool though, especially as we've been like hanging out down there on Fridays and stuff, just in Josh's shop. Like, it would have been sweet to just like go next door and.
Well, like on a night,
we would
like
probably gone and hung out tonight,
right?
And it's like you invite, I don't
Yeah.
know, you invite some people and come hang out. It's like what we were doing in the shop, but it's kind of more ours.
Right.
There's more of like a.
It's your music, it's your furniture, it's your work that's up.
Probably would have just done this.
Yeah. And, it could be conversations about photography. It could be showing each other's work. It could be photography books. It could be, gear.
Yeah.
And then, like in a really exciting situation, it could be like we were down there at the shop. I was loading in new inventory. You were hanging out. A few customers coming by, hanging out with Josh, talking to Stefan, grab something to eat. And then there was like a formal thing that we were going to do. We're like going to get, hey, all, come on down. We're going to have like music and, some food and drinks and stuff. And like, just check out the work, and anybody can come in off the street. And we've also invited 25 people to come check this out.
That's what was more exciting about that particular space than anything, is just the built-in community.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's kind of a bummer. And like, I don't know the person that's in there right now very well, but it does seem like I've been down there and I've met everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never have talked to him.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I don't know. It's just a shame.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it would have been sick to just, that space would have been completely transient and open. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it'll still happen. We'll see.
Yeah, and fortunately for the person who's in there, I have no hard feelings, and we still talk, and are friendly with each other, and I go into the space and check it out because I'm really excited about his work and what he's got going on. I know he is doing really cool stuff. He's collaborating with people, a person in the restaurant
Not
community
me though.
here.
I broke one of his windows.
Yeah. Smashed it through a flaming bag of shit on his doorstep. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No. It's no hard feelings. I don't know. It's like just it stinks. Like, it would have been cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope that space comes available. Like, I haven't thought about like, what if and we've talked about, there's other spots too.
Yeah.
It is just kind of like the built-in community of that spot,
right?
Which is cool. Like if we had something like a little more formal in Ex-Arbon or something, like that could be cool.
Yeah.
By like a priori, but it's like, is that community the same? Is that kind of, I don't know though. It's just
right.
It's like you can walk in there anytime.
And
it seems like Stefan's more at workshop and then or is it just kind of all over the place?
It's hard to tell. I think it's probably more of an even split, but he's also going back to school, so he's probably going to lean into some of their employees a bit more.
Doxing all of his personal life on that. No, I'm just kidding.
I think it's public information.
No, I'm kidding.
Knows, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just cool.
There's something
to be right there.
Yeah, and there's something about the old market, the history there, and sort of, there's not much about the old market that I feel like has, I don't know, there's nothing there where I'm like bummed that thing is there, I could bag on Scooters or Spaghetti Works, like not every restaurant's going to be an artistic chef.
Most of the shops are kind of mad too, but
they're not.
There is like that. It's more Jackson Street.
Yeah.
Is cool.
Yeah.
Like you get into the old market and it's like,
yeah.
But Jackson Street is just special.
Yes. That south end of the old market is good.
Yeah.
I like it all. I don't really have anything where I'm like, there's not like a Starbucks down there, or
the Booth Deli.
Yeah, that didn't work out. But So yeah, I just like the vibe down there, and I always have, and it's been really cool to feel like I'm a part of it with what I'm doing with Josh at Lost, and then Alex, you and Audrey have been down there just doing your own thing with going to the deli or going to Jackson Street, and now you're integrating a little bit more with hanging out at the shop and getting to know Josh and Stefan and Trey and all those guys down there, and it's just fun. And then I have my connections with Homer's and Grapefruit, the record shops, doing business with them. So it's just, it's fun to go down there and park and like be a small part of it.
Yeah.
And I was excited, especially for you, to be a bigger part of it by having that space down there, shooting more street down there, all the stuff that we were going to do. And we're going to have to find another way to figure that out.
Yeah. Maybe an opportunity will come back up.
Yeah.
We just need to start like subtly. Oh man, there's this really great space available here. Would be great for pottery.
And I'm really hoping too that
maybe it will be wildly successful, and he'll want to move to like a better storefront.
Well, I think it's certainly possible, and I think
that'd be
the
best
biggest
case scenario for all.
The biggest issues he faces is that there's not, there isn't like a restroom in there. There isn't easily accessible running water and sinks and all that kind of stuff. Now, it could be that he does well and he works with the landlords to have that stuff installed because he likes that spot, or like you said, he's able to find a different space, but. We'll see. In March, Josh's lease is up, and if this person takes it over, then they take it over. And then if they decide to move on from that, if they do like a month-to-month thing, then it could be available again. Mm-hmm. Now, is that something that we would sign a big lease for without there being like, in a sense, some kind of stronger commercial aspect to it? I know that would be very difficult for me to go in $400, $500 a month on something that was.
If it was month to month at first, it would have to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yes, we will.
What else do we have? We've been floating around here.
Oh man.
What's been going on in your neck of the woods? What you been thinking about?
I've been thinking about
reading.
how I haven't been out taking any pictures. I have all these projects that I want to continue or start, and I haven't done it. Yeah. And with that Leica all done and ready and completely CLA'd and refurbished and all that stuff, I haven't loaded one roll of film into it.
We got to get you into you should join this darkroom that I joined in.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Yes. I mean, I don't want to like point out where it is or anything, but yeah, there's a darkroom in Omaha. I joined it, and yeah, it's just I've got a new batch of chemicals. My chemicals were like 4 years old, 5 years old at this point. I'm like starting to unbox all my old negatives and cut them and put them into sleeves and get a bit of organization going.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, once I kind of have an idea of what I'm looking at, I bought a bunch of Tri-X 24 rolls instead of 36, which I meant to start doing a long time ago, but I still have a shit ton of film in my fridge, but most of it's like Portra 800, which is worth I could probably sell it all.
Probably could.
$1 million.
It's like silver. The price
legit. It's the only thing that's outpaced silver in like the last 5 months. It's Portra 800. No, in all seriousness though, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he hasn't shot for a while, and recently started looking around and was like, oh, maybe I'll get a Ricoh or something, and just something pretty low stakes, easy to use. And so he was developing film again, and then we were on the phone, and he's like looking at film for the first time, and like, I mean, this was somebody like we used to shoot like Ultramax. This was like in like 2016. We'd shoot like Ultramax or something. Mm-hmm. I guess 2017 or whatever. But like almost 10 years ago, film was very differently priced.
Yes,
you get it from like Walgreens
for like
And,
$8 a roll.
Yeah, he's on the phone with me, and he's like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, dude, it's like
I
14
think-
a roll.
Yeah,
now.
Portra is like $20 or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I was getting Ultramax at Walgreens within the last 18 months for $9 a roll.
well, so okay, one thing, if anybody can help me out with this, and I mean, I know, like, I don't really like asking for advice, but I might get like a personal experience, because it's hard to find shit like this on Reddit or whatever. I was thinking about essentially rolling my own film.
Mm-hmm.
And like buying a loader, doing my like self-loading, and it would just be Tri-X. That's all I really care to shoot. It's just easier to develop, and it's just the whole thing easier to push, pull. It's cheaper, and I like the look of it just fine. Does anybody have any experience with self-loading, and more so, what canisters can I use? Because I've heard that all of like the plastic canisters that are for sale today stink.
Yeah,
like they're just not good. The felt is like you get 10 of them, and like there's an 80% failure rate in some of these brands. So if anybody has any guidance for me on that, it would be appreciated. Because I don't want it to be so prohibitive.
Yeah,
that I just don't do it.
I have
I don't mind just buying 24 roll of Tri-X.
I have a shit ton of expired film in my fridge.
Yeah.
That I mean, I don't know if those canisters from the 80s and
Yeah.
stuff are better. I mean, some of them are plastic. I don't know if any of them are metal.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can tear all the film out of there and reuse them if that's something that's...
Yeah, see, and that's like, can I reuse? Like, how do you reuse a canister? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
kind of what So, anyways, any guidance? I mean, if anybody just wants to like, leave me a message, and even if you're just like, hey, leave me a message, and I don't know. We'll FaceTime or something. I don't know. I'm sure I can find information on it if I looked harder. And people have said like, oh, go get the old Leica or the old Kodak reloadable canisters. But they're like $50 a pop on eBay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm going to need at least, if I'm doing 36 rolls, which I like doing 24 rolls. It's just an ideal amount because you can push or pull a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier if I need to blow 10 shots, it's easier to, be at 14 and blow 10 than it is to be at 14 and get to 36. Right. So, yeah, I don't know if anybody has any advice.
I can't remember if Jason at Grainy Days has a video about, because he bulk rolls, buys in bulk, and then rolls his own film.
He does?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think he did it with Ektachrome.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's the other thing too about if you send off to a lab, you have to be like, hey, please don't.
I think he mentioned that in one video too.
Because I've heard a lot of people, it'll slip their mind and they'll send off.
And then they toss it.
And then they toss them and they're like, oh, fuck. Like, it's not like you can call the lab and be like, hey, remember that thing you processed at some point in the last 4 weeks?
Dig it out of the garbage bin.
Yeah.
That's full of canisters.
Yep. So.
Well, and I know Justin at Midwest Film Company.
He does all of his, yeah.
So maybe he has some canister tips for you.
Well, because he's doing, that's who I'll call.
Yeah, he's doing Vision 3.
Yeah. Is he removing the layer or is he leaving it?
No. He processes it ECN.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been buying because it's $12 or $13 a roll.
Yeah, because he's buying it in motion picture spools and just.
The only time it bit me was I had a roll in my F1 and I tried to goose it for a couple extra frames and I got to the end, and when I did the film advance, it pulled the film out of the canister in the camera.
Oh Jesus! Like because
there's something in there.
Yeah,
however,
it's
that
taped
gives,
on.
That gives it, and that came out, and so the roll came completely
out
of the canister.
So did you open it in a dark room, or?
No, I'm a dumbass, and I rewound it, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're good. And then I popped it open, and all the film's sitting there.
Damn.
I think I talked about it on a podcast. Actually, it was the bulk of it was all the interior photos I did at my grandma's house after she passed away to capture the house as is. And so those are all gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't meant to be.
See, stuff like that, just, I don't know.
And
I
that
don't
was
know if
also
the juice is worth the squeeze. It's like, I think I was paying something like $7 a roll for the 24 rolls.
yeah.
Which obviously, like, that's not an inconsequential amount of money, but
Right. I just got greedy though.
I don't shoot a ton either. Like, I mean, I do take a lot. Like, I'll burn through a roll if I find a good situation, but
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be days when I'm like, you'll walk around with me and it's like, oh yeah, I took 13 photos in 6
Right.
hours or something.
Yeah.
So
And that's usually how I am with film anyway. It's the editing, what I see and what I'm going to shoot much more than if I'm shooting digital.
yeah.
But I deeply miss being out there, not just only for the times that we walk around and do it, but all the different times I was out with stuff for the Photo Videos channel, shooting different areas of town and then doing video as well and making those into videos. I haven't put a video together for that channel in probably 9 to 10 months. And I have a few that I can edit and put together, but I haven't gone out and done it because I've just been caught up with trying to get everything out Lost off the ground and getting my life figured out with creating content and YouTube channels and all that kind of stuff. So it's really been hard to not be out there more regularly shooting. So I need to get back
Just
to
gotta
that.
do it, brother.
No, 100%.
Just gotta jump in, yeah.
And I had, that last time I was doing it consistently, I had some just really cool opportunities. I was in Poland and shot there. I was in Las Vegas for NAB, which I'm going to in 2 months again. And there's all kinds of different areas around Omaha and the surrounding smaller towns that I want to go and just shoot all day long. But I feel like I need to be focusing more on revenue growth than that kind of stuff. So whatever, I'll get it figured out. We'll get there.
I feel like we should like revisit our goals episode.
Oh yeah.
See how that's going. In a couple months. I don't remember. I mean, like, I remember, but like,
Yeah.
I'd like to actually watch it and like note down what the specifics were. Like, off the top of my head, I don't have the hyper specifics, but yeah.
I mean, just in general, I would say that I'm doing fairly well with what I set out. There's things like my studio's pretty messy right now, which I don't want.
Mine too.
Yeah, terrible. Revenue's been pretty good so far this year, so that's good. Personally, just with the year resetting, feel really good about kicking off the year in a more focused and disciplined way. If anything, I just feel like I'm not out making the more meaningful work the way that I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also haven't been as consistent as I want to be with exercise. The walking part has really fallen off, but I'm still doing my strength training 3 days a week. Not perfectly, but that's been a little bit more consistent. So there's still room for improvement. I just don't want like the excitement of the beginning of the year to throw me off.
Yeah.
And then with the weather here, it's like it feels like all of a sudden it's May.
It's just crazy. It was like 70 today.
Yeah, I mean, so we basically have not had really any meaningful winter weather here. We had a
Since
couple
November.
cold snaps,
Yeah,
a little dusting
there
of
was a
snow
lot
here
of
and there.
Under
Yeah,
zero or whatever.
maybe 2 weeks of like really cold weather, not all at once, but roughly 2 weeks. But the last week or so,
And then we
we've
had
had
snow after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and the last couple weeks we've had temperatures as high as 70 and in the upper 40s and 50s. I mean, today we could have walked around the old market with
short sleeves.
Short sleeves, a light jacket, and been perfectly comfortable. So that's kind of throwing me off. Usually this is the time where my walks are easy because you don't get all sweaty and gross because it's so cold out. It's easier to be inside working because it's not that nice out. But now I'm like feeling I just want to get outside. I want to go shoot. I want to go explore. I want to go treasure hunt. I want to do everything that isn't sit at my computer and make videos. Yeah. So, yeah.
It seems like I'm yawning a lot. It's because it's literally like 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Getting close. 9:30. So how about you on your goals?
I don't know, man. I feel like the last couple of weeks we were gone for a long time. The last couple of weeks we've just kind of been getting back into rhythm here. So we'll see how that goes. I probably report back like next time.
Yeah, maybe in a few.
Yeah,
a little bit longer.
Yeah,
to talk about other things.
Yeah, but can't complain too much. It's been fun. Like we did, we've done a couple movie nights and just feel like there's been a lot more community this year.
Yeah.
Just even in the short period of time that I've literally have only been in Omaha for like 9 days of 2026.
Yeah.
So
yeah, last night hanging out was great. And I did have a moment of reflection where I'm like, man, it's just so cool. I know some people weren't able to make it, but so cool to be able to just have so much rapport and comfort with all of you guys hanging out in, your home, watching a movie, having, a smart conversation about it. Afterward,
smart conversation about define.
No. We didn't like get podcast in depth with everything, but people are.
I wasn't pointed at other people. I was pointed at myself, by the way.
No, it was good. It was good. So
it was a lot of fun. Even just like got together with some good friends to watch the Super Bowl.
Nice.
Sorry. Fucking sucked. That game was awful, dude.
Brutal.
No. It's just been, it's been fun. I feel like we've had a lot of hanging out at the shop last couple of weeks.
You finished your website?
I did finish that. See, that almost felt like not a big deal. It is cool. Like everything works.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
Knock on wood again, but like it seems like everything works. Like it's all functional, which was the biggest thing. It's not like there's not a ton on there.
Yeah.
But all the features that are on there work, which is pretty cool. So, that was big. I've been working on that for a while, I guess.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, that's cool. Now it's like just empty. Like it needs to be populated with
you got to start
stuff. So I got to be careful, but it is nice. It's the first time that I really feel like I actually kind of have an outlet that's completely not reliant on social media. Mm-hmm. And which is a good timing because it's like I just deleted one of my like Instagram accounts that I had for a long time. Obviously deleted Facebook last year. No, the made by is still there.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't been used in years, but I don't know if I will ever use it again. I can just
tag you and it just the notification goes
into the ether.
Nowhere.
I don't know if I might not even use it again. It logged out on my computer a couple of months ago.
Yeah. And
so now I just have no way to get, I can like log back. I have the login somewhere, but it's like a pain in the ass to log back. I don't know. It's probably not that bad, but so I just haven't had it logged in. Yeah. So don't have Facebook anymore and, don't have like a Snapchat or a TikTok or anything like that. So I'm pretty much just like off of all of that.
Yeah. I feel
like I got off crack or something.
Well, are you going to miss Facebook Marketplace?
I just use my wife's.
Okay, gotcha. So there's still a pathway to Facebook Marketplace.
I don't need to be on Facebook Marketplace.
No, I don't need to be, but that's the one thing that keeps
the biggest
me on
problem
Facebook.
Is I freaking Ford F-150 long bed XLT like 1992 or like
shopping
Royal Enfield 650 Interceptor. I'm like, that's the problem. I need to get off Facebook Marketplace. I need to burn it.
Probably a good idea. I scour it often.
That's the thing. And I talked about that last year about just trying not to really, I kind of don't want to buy shit. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of things like, I would love like an old truck or something, even just for like the project aspect of it, to work on it and just have something to focus on. I mean, there's plenty. There's like a couple of things that I would like love to have, but there's nothing I need, and I kind of just want that this year to be kind of that. Like, I don't want to buy new clothes.
Yeah. New old clothes.
Yeah, I mean, just like but just clothes in general though. It's like, I mean, yeah, I don't want to buy a bunch of shit. So I don't know. And I've done pretty good with that so far.
I'll say, yeah. Modest upgrades here and there, but for the most part, very disciplined.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of too much that I've bought this year. Even like books, I'm like, oh, I need that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
probably
I'll just get the I'll just get the Kindle version.
That's
or
probably the
whatever.
one thing that you were really going. But geez, of all the things to be buying, like to be self-critical about, I don't know that books.
I mean, to an extent, but yeah, it's like if you don't use them.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and I think that's always the sign. Like, am I actually reading these?
Did I show you some of the? Did I do show and
If you're
tell
not.
with what I got? Some of the books that I got in Nashville.
No,
I did get a couple.
I don't know any of
This
them.
thing is freaking cool, by the way. This just
Pretty
feels
cool.
good.
Yeah, Harbor Freight, FTW, bottle
I
opener.
did just get a couple of books.
For those listening, Alex held his wrench/bottle opener from Harbor Freight.
I got this one for Christmas.
I've got that one.
It's a long time.
Yeah, I love this book. So he's pulled down William Eggleston's guide.
I got this.
That's a good one.
In a used bookstore.
Dante,
So
Divine Comedy.
It's a Divine Comedy, but it's with the illustrations.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's leather bound. And
James Forsyth's copy.
these illustrations.
I know, dude. Can you imagine getting like?
It's beautiful. They're just
and-
ink illustrations.
Well, I think is that called lithograph, where they do an ink transfer on the copper plates or whatever that they carved, which is
I mean,
crazy.
it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just, it's crazy. So.
It'd be cool if your website looked like these pages.
It just
Like, you know,
Has
like
that
has that
old, yeah.
has that like vignetting around the sepia vignetting around the edges. Yeah.
so.
I do love me some William Eggleston's guide though.
And that's it.
At war with the obvious here. Just the best photos. I love that one of the suburban street with a car.
Yeah, these things are great.
Naked guy.
Naked guy. I think that guy killed himself.
Oh man, brutal.
It was a buddy of his, a dentist.
Yeah, he's got some good ones in here. Yeah, this one. I always love this one.
Yeah.
Page 75,
The
number
guide.
74.
Of the
Southern
guide.
Edinburghans of Memphis.
Yeah, it's a great project. It's really, really, really good.
Oh, this one was one of my all-timers too. Page 70, Tallahatchie County, Mississippi. I love that.
So that was a gift from my father-in-law.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Dad and Nancy.
So this, you know, when I think of myself out like yesterday up in Fremont, like I think about
That?
these photographs often.
Have
Not-
you seen?
not just this
have
one
you looked at
specifically.
the Stephen Shore?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
you
yeah.
have that?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. And I'm like, I want to go do sort of like my treasure hunting work, you know, to get stuff for the shop or to sell or whatever. But I want to have these stretches in between where I'm just exploring, pulling over in the truck, walking around, and grabbing photographs. And I want to
Picking.
make like a deal with myself where I'm like, okay,
Picking spots to kind of
go to that estate sale dispersal store, go to the Goodwill or whatever, do your thing for, you know, for an hour or whatever, and then take a break. Go shoot. And then go back on the clock and then hit up the antique store or whatever. And basically want to travel locally looking for the stuff that pays the bills, but then like sharing the day with just being out there, not in commerce brain and treasure hunter brain, but just take
It
in
would
the
be
environment.
cool if I mean, I don't know. There's almost a world where you might be able to make that. I mean, I could see a thing where you're like picking for things like full time.
Yeah.
That's kind of your gig.
Yeah.
I feel like you're closer to that than I would have expected, or you would have expected this time last year.
Yeah.
And it's like there might be a time when that kind of. I mean, yeah, I think you'll still do like the record videos and stuff, but it's more because you enjoy doing them.
Yeah.
Or maybe because there is like a bit of satisfaction with like the growing of the channel.
Mhm.
But then, yeah, I mean, maybe that'll open it up to where you don't have to worry about editing a bunch of videos or whatever.
Well, it would be not, you know, I wish that it was like going out and doing this stuff, whether it's exploring just for the sake of photography, or exploring to look for treasure, that the experiences that I was having and the people I ran into led to documentation and storytelling. And so, like the woman I met with the Carhartt who talked about being clairvoyant and having been a butt model.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like those should trigger me to go into storyteller mode and just be like, look, I've got a camcorder and a microphone.
Tell me more.
Tell me more. And
Yeah.
can I take your portrait, you know, and then make a video about that,
Yeah.
you know, and it doesn't have to be like all this amazing high quality 4K footage and a lit interview and all this. Like I want it to be rougher. You know, I still want the audience to be able to enjoy it, but I want it to just, and I you know, I always feel like I'm crunched for time, you know, so like my brain doesn't kind of pay attention to the signals that you're getting that this is really interesting stuff. And it's like I got to get to the next thing, or this person's waiting for me, or I got to get back to the shop, and I don't want that. I want that stuff to just breathe more. Yeah. And I want to remember, even if I just started taking a portrait of these people that I meet when I buy their stuff, like that just by itself is an interesting project for
sure, for
a gallery or a book or just whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, watching some of those William Eggleston videos on YouTube where he's out with his son and he's just wandering around taking photos. I'm like that is like a perfect day to me.
That's the best documentary.
Oh man,
about
so good.
The photography period, I think.
Yeah, it's up there. I mean, I haven't seen a ton of photography documentaries, but I mean, I remember watching that and I'm just like, I think about doing what you're doing all the time.
That one, and then the Gary Winogrand documentary. The Gary Winogrand documentary is great because it has a lot to teach you about just like the morons and like I'm sure that these are like nice people, but it just everybody's got like this, I think the work is like this, and like I think because of this and this and this is what the work is, and the work is this, and this is da 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 da. It's just this like really pretentious idiocy. And I don't know, it taught me a lot. And then it's just kind of overlaid with Gary, you know, talking or shooting, and then the actual photographs.
Right.
And you just kind of hear these people reacting to it from like a very localized perspective. And I don't know, it's almost just polar opposite ends. And it's like, if you understand these two things, then like it's kind of a great starter kit for photography.
Agreed.
But yeah, it's a good book though. I'm excited to actually finally have it in the collection.
Yes.
I don't have a huge collection of photo books, but I've got 2 or 3 shelves of them. So.
I went pretty ham on them for a while.
You did, yeah.
I have quite a few.
I don't know. I've just never really.
Yeah.
I like I mean, there's nothing where I'm like, I need to own like the most well-known ones. I like finding obscure ones, and then I mean, I own a lot of well-known ones, but like
I've got, you know,
I don't know, like the Jerry Schatzberg or like some of those are cool, like a little more.
Yeah. Well, even just opening this one and looking at it again, it was like,
you're like, I need to crack these open.
Well, not just that, but I'm like, I need to get out and make work because I I just see opportunities like this all the time. And not to say that I'm going to take photos on par with William, but I at least feel like I have been in these places like this with opportunities to capture things the way that I see them, and I just haven't done it. I've just let these other things, and I just see this and I'm just like, yeah, I got to get back out there. I've got to make time for that, not like let some level of achievement or revenue or something like grant me permission to do it. Yeah, I know. It's just, like, I run into people like this all the time. You see me at, like, when we go to estate sales together, that intensity, that's what happens to me, and it like makes me
like ruins your
it just makes me not
ability.
right. And I think
I see it too. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you're almost like when I'll go with you, and I do enjoy going with you. It's like, but yeah, you are like locked in. Mean, it's like, you're like, hey Matt, check this out, and you're like, yeah, but like,
right. And there's a few times at some of these
dollar signs,
some of the estate sales where I see how a room is situated, and I'm like, oh, I have to take a picture of this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's way more opportunities for that.
Yeah.
In those spaces. I was going back looking at photos for the gallery that we were going to do, and some of my favorite ones that I was considering putting in there were ones I just took with my phone inside these estate sales.
Yeah.
The way that the room was arranged, or there was an impression on the bed, or like just the way that these people's homes get kind of out of whack at an estate sale. Like there was a basement where like a refrigerator was just like cockeyed in the middle of the basement, and it just looked disembodied and bizarre, which to me is what these estate sales feel like as well.
Maybe. So we got just a little bit of time left, but I'm interested. Yeah. Like, as I went through and looked at photos too, and I think part of me, I think I'm kind of done with the photos that I've shot. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just very familiar with what I've shot so far, and they're kind of all boring to me. And maybe if I get away from them and come back to them, but it's like I've sequenced them so many ways, and like I know exactly what's in there, and just I'm like, okay, whatever. I've seen these. I don't care anymore. Like, I just don't want to see these anymore.
Yep.
And I mean, obviously, the way to fix that is to go make new photos. And so I think I'd like to get really aggressive about it this year and kind of build a new body of work that I'm actually excited about, and like that has something to teach me, because not that the work doesn't have anything to teach me, but I do feel like I'm like, all right, I've looked at this like 100 ways from Sunday, and I've sequenced it like 30 different times, and like some of it's good and some of it's and some of it's like okay, and it's that's how did you catch that? I don't know. It's like, whatever. No, but it's just like, it's not interesting anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe it's interesting to some, and I get that. It's like, well, it's like, it hasn't been displayed or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but at a certain point you have to be engaging and excited about the work. Or else like, that's like, you can't, I don't know. And I was excited, and I did a bunch of sequencing, and, I'll probably take the selections I made, edit them, and put them on my new website.
I think that's a good idea.
The portfolio website hasn't been touched in a while, and maybe I'll go back. I was looking at my portfolio website, and I was like, dude, I pay Format or whatever X amount of money a year to host this thing for me, and I'm like, I could build this better than this is. Like, especially now, like I'm confident that I could build this better than what this is, and I could just host this myself. Yeah. So that might be a project that I approach at some point. I also don't know if there's like, it's worth having the differentiated, like, I do think it's kind of good to have that just like professional, but I don't know, man. I don't want to be a commercial photographer or anything. I'm not really interested in that. But photography is definitely something I want to kind of engage with more.
Same.
Over the next 8 months or 10 months or whatever we've got. So we'll see where it goes. I don't want to make, but even like this, like I don't want to make work like this. Even like I kind of want to see what else, like where is my work gonna go?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't been excited about anything I've taken a picture of in like a year and a half though. So like, you know, street photography in Omaha doesn't really get me pumped like it
Yeah.
like it did. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just need to find something that catches my attention.
And I think being out in the world and having your camera and being open and all that, like it'll just start happening.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see something.
Well, there was a great, I don't know if you listened to, there was a Rick Rubin interview recently, and I watched it on there actually, because it was in his yard, and yeah, his yard is like, I mean, it's, what does he call it? Shangri-La?
Yeah.
It's like, it's literally Shangri-La. It's fucking great. It was with George Saunders, though, the author.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that.
It's really good. You should give it a, yeah. But essentially he's like, yeah, you know, the creative process is just this thing that you know, it literally doesn't exist if you don't do the process.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't be like, I have this thing and I need to bring it in. It's like the act of bringing it in causes it to be the thing.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's all about just doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly make it, like you make 100,000 decisions over the course of a year or whatever. And, you know, if you're making that many decisions, your personality is going to be a piece of that final output. And so, you know, whatever that is what that is.
Yep.
And if you're making those decisions in an honest way and actually based on your taste and not like what you think your taste should be or what you think,
who you want to impress or
yeah, what you're trying to, you know, support or say or whatever, then it'll be a reflection. You'll learn something from it.
Yeah.
And if you don't take that process seriously, then you're not going to learn anything from it. And you're not going to teach anybody anything either because nobody wants to learn from your bullshit like that. And that's kind of just one of the things. It's like, and I don't know, it was a very pragmatic way of looking at it. Obviously, we've talked about stuff like that before of what is, you know, what makes something artistic.
Yeah.
But yeah, also been thinking about that a lot while I was gone. I haven't talked to you about that, but like, what is art? Like, what makes something art? And we don't have to get into that now, but yeah, it's just interesting. I always really liked Tolstoy, the What is Art book. And I've been thinking about that more. And I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that much, actually. It's funny. Who was the book critic? Brilliant guy. He died like a while ago, but we sent back and forth a bunch of like interviews of him a couple of years ago. Harold Bloom.
Yeah, Harold Bloom.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so he's like the Western canon is his thing, and we actually saw one of his books in Nashville. He hates that Tolstoy, because I think Tolstoy essentially says something about like Shakespeare not meeting the definition of whatever, and he's like, Shakespeare is like like recreated like the metaphor and used it in ways that nobody had ever used it, and like completely reshifted, like structured. Anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent, but I don't know why I was thinking about that. But yeah, I just like Tolstoy's definition of art is like transmutation of feeling from one individual to another, and I'm like, I really like that definition of it. And I heard something though, it was like more of an Emersonian, like I don't know if it's like, it's definitely not like started with Emerson, but it's kind of like started with that like pre-transcendentalist, so probably German thought, and then it kind of got adopted into like the transcendentalist early American. And it's like there's human and then there's like divine, and art is able to reach through that barrier and like pull, like connect the two things. And that's not an exact quote, but it's kind of, you know, that's kind of like the concept. And like I kind of like that one too, but obviously that's within a very like like that is a worldview specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're atheist or whatever, you're not gonna see that as being, being the true definition. So I mean, I don't know if there's a definition. It's probably worthless to even try to. But everybody has like something that they agree with, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I've just been thinking like, where do I
Maybe it's not about
land on
finding
that?
what.
It's not about finding like this is what I believe, but it's like,
And it's not about finding the definition
Yeah.
of art, but it's maybe finding your definition of it.
well, it's like what's most true for me at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that is with anything. That's what's great about this podcast is every week we can just change our mind. And
Yeah.
this is actually how I feel now.
With that, and that's the point of documenting all these
Yeah,
conversations is to capture the evolution of those thoughts and feelings over
Yeah.
time, and how making work and not making work informs that,
Yeah.
which is what I love about doing this.
It had been a golden afternoon, and I remember having the familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the summer.